Hello, welcome to your masterclass. I will wait briefly, but not too long, because I know it's really annoying when you're watching a replay. So, while I'm waiting for people to come on, I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who might be new to the group or to me. I'm Rosie, I'm the owner of Holistically Rosie, and I'm a certified nutrition coach. And my main goal really with this masterclass is to help you break through the reasons that you give up on your New Year's resolutions every single year. And we all do it, everybody does it. It's really common that people don't achieve their New Year's resolutions. I work in a gym and I've just started working there, and they're like, it's going to be mad from about Thursday until the third week of January, when everybody just goes, nah, had enough. And going by your comments from my posts earlier, it seems like the average amount of time really that people carry on with their New Year's resolutions is about 3 weeks. And I'm going to help you get clear on why that is tonight. I'm also going to help you stop doing that so that you can go into 2020 with your goals and stick with them throughout the whole year so that you actually achieve them, so you can get to December and be like, I actually did it for the first time. I actually did it, and it's going to be amazing. I'm trying to move so that the reflection of my computer screen isn't in my glasses, but it's not going to happen. So we might just have to deal with it, because if I take them off, I can't read my notes. So this masterclass is for you if you are one of those people who sets your weight loss or nutrition or health or any New Year's resolution. Really, you could apply the tips here to any area of your life. So yeah, you're the kind of person who sets them, hammers it for a few weeks, and then the motivation goes, or you just forget, or life gets in the way, or you just decide you don't really care anymore. And it all just goes out the window. We're going to get over that tonight. And if you watch to the end, or come back and watch to the end, if for whatever reason you can't watch the whole thing tonight, sorry Claire, there's going to be an offer which you can only access if you watch this video. So keep watching or come back to it. I'd like this to be interactive because it's going to help me make the masterclass better. I've obviously made my notes. I know what I want to say, I know what I want to cover, but this can be really tailored to you. We're in a private space, so share your thoughts, share your struggles, and whenever anything resonates with you, please just hit the like or a heart and comment, because that's going to help me. I'll be able to answer questions, I'll be able to tailor the advice I'm giving, and it's going to make it really personal to you guys in here. This is exclusive just for you. So what we're going to go over tonight is the common mistakes that people make that means that you fail your goals. And I don't like the word fail very much. It's quite a disempowering word, but that's what fits tonight. So yeah. And I'm going to go over actually how to stop each individual. I've got a lot of mistakes here that people make. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mistakes that people make when setting their New Year's resolutions. That means that they don't achieve them. And so for each of these 5 mistakes, I am also going to go over what to do about it. So it may be worth grabbing a pen and paper and making some notes. But I think I may even just be really nice to you and create a PDF so you can fill it out. Might do that. It depends how much time I have. I'm fitting this around working and the kids and studying and things. So I am, in true Rosie style, half prepared for tonight. While I was at work today, I was writing out kind of my bullet points, what I want to talk about, and kind of got halfway done with that. And then I spent the whole afternoon kind of setting up your area of the website that you're going to be able to access to get your exclusive offers later on. And I'm not the most I'm crap with technology, so yeah. But I think that I will put together a PDF for you so that even if you don't go through with any of the offers tonight or decide to go any further with anything, you will still have something that you can take away and work on to help you achieve your goals. Yes, I will do that. I want to do that for you. So let me just catch up with some comments quickly and then I will get into the content. Hello, Sarah, Kendra, Claire, and who else? Jasmine. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, the reflection's really annoying, isn't it, Claire? I haven't got anti-glare on these. They drive me insane. I hate wearing glasses. I can quite often see the reflection of my eyeballs staring back at me. It's really annoying. Yeah, still the way to describe it. Failing means you could always start again. Exactly. And there's this kind of mindset that you can take on that although you may have failed something, you've just learnt how something doesn't work. But then the struggle becomes when you're doing it every single year and not doing anything differently. The definition of insanity, which is what my life feels like. In my daughter's room, so grabbed a felt tip. Whatever works. Hello, what's rude? Okay, right, so the first mistake that people make is setting goals without setting action steps. So it sounds really basic and obvious, but if you say, for example, I want to lose 20 pounds, but then you don't come up with a plan on how you're actually going to do that, how can you possibly take any action towards that goal? You have got to set out exactly what you're going to do. And I think that, actually, moving on to the next point, this flows very well. I did this well. People often then, the second one is making too many changes too fast and getting overwhelmed. So maybe you'll set a goal that you want to lose 20 pounds, but maybe you'll make it so that you want to do it in a month, which is really unrealistic. And you think that you have to be perfect, so you go on a crash diet, cut out all of the food you love. You're like, I'm going to quit bread, and I'm going to quit sugar, and I'm going to quit coffee, and I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week, and I'm going to drink 5 litres of water a day. Don't do that, you probably drown yourself. I'm just kind of being extreme to give you an example of the sort of things people might do, is that they just really throw themselves into it too fast, make too many changes, and then they can't sustain them. And this is based on having the diet mentality of like, if I can lose this weight really, really fast, then I can just go back to my old habits and I'll have lost the weight, so it'll be fine. And then I can just carry on as I was before, which is really unsustainable. It's why you fail, overwhelming, it's unhealthy, and you'll just get your weight back on, if not more. I'm just going to swipe the comments away for a second, because otherwise I'll get distracted and go off on a tangent, which I may do anyway, because tangents are my thing. So the third one is setting goals that aren't based on what you really want. They're based on what you think is expected of you. And I think that we quite often don't do this consciously, but if you just think about how many people set the New Year's resolution to lose weight every year and don't achieve it, apart from obviously the first two mistakes where they go at it too hard and then they just can't sustain it, I have to wonder how many people are setting goals that they actually don't really want to achieve. We have this expectation in society that we're supposed to be a certain size or a certain weight, or have a certain appearance to be worthwhile as a person. And if you're coming at your goal based on that, you're not going to achieve it, because it's not really what you want. It's based on like outside, like superficial crap. And if you don't really want to achieve your goal, you're not going to do it. So I think that's another thing that causes people to fail, is that the goals they're setting aren't really based on what they actually want. And then so kind of related to that also is setting goals that don't align with the level of action you're prepared to take. And I think this is a really big one, because it's easy to say, let's use the £20 example again. if you've got £20 to lose, which isn't a huge amount, but it's a fair amount, it is going to require a level of dedication. And I'm not one for saying that you have to eat perfectly and you have to hammer it in the gym, because that's not true. But it is going to take dedication. And if that's what you want to do, are you prepared to dedicate yourself to that? So the same might go for, let's say, somebody wants to enter a bikini model competition. That is going to require a level of perfection that I couldn't personally, I was going to say perseverably, I couldn't personally stick to. So I am never going to enter myself in for a bikini model competition, because I just know for a fact I do not want to be that committed and that dedicated. I don't want to. I want to be happy. And I think that people don't think that through. You set this huge goal, and then actually what it takes to get there is not what you're prepared to do. So just let me know if any of this resonates with any of you, because I think that that's probably one of the biggest things. And then the other one is relying on willpower alone. A lot of people think that you need to have this like crazy amount of willpower to be able to achieve your goals, and actually what you need really actually is to create a new lifestyle. And quite often I think that willpower would then go back to the fact that people are trying to make too many changes too fast, and it's overwhelming, and they think they have to apply like brute level willpower to be able to achieve them, because they're actually just trying too hard. They're setting themselves up to fail. Whereas if you make small sustainable changes and you create a lifestyle from them, and you take, you set these action steps that you can achieve because they're smaller, you don't need a huge amount of willpower, and actually the whole thing becomes much easier and much more manageable. So now I'm going to go to your solutions. And slow me down. I am checking the comments kind of intermittently, so I don't want to ignore you if you're asking questions, but I just don't want to have them coming up all the time. So I'm just going to check them quickly before I go back to the solutions to see if there's anything else I need to cover. Just scroll back through. Yes, Claire, I'm going to come back to that just a sec. Yeah, so Claire says, I want to say that I made the mistakes of trying to be perfect immediately, but it hit me in the ass after 3 weeks. Yeah. So Claire did my Nourish Your Life program, and I did in that program, which is a couple of years old now, I did suggest aiming to be perfect for 30 days, but also to let yourself off the hook if you're not. And this is where I guess there's a little, a bit of a paradox maybe. But the reason I wanted people to be as close to perfect as they could for 30 days is because if you can get through those 30 days of eating really clean, first of all, you're going to feel what it feels like to be really healthy. And that feels amazing, and that is going to help motivate you to continue. Secondly, you're going to be on the road to setting new habits. But this is only right for some people, and for some, making that many changes that fast and sticking to it can then lead to this mindset of your brain is just like, oh my god, I can't have it, I've got to have everything, and then you end up like completely going nuts. So that, it's kind of like some people it suits, some people it doesn't. So it's a really personal thing. But that was only a 30-day program that was designed really to just show you how powerful nutrition is. But having said that, Claire, you've been doing it now for that entire 2 years. And although obviously there are times when you're not as on track as maybe you'd like to be, this is 2 years of you consistently eating much better, and you know what it feels like now to not eat healthily. And you don't like it, so you get back to it, and that is incredible, and that is part of the process. So you should be really proud of yourself. Let me just check some other comments. Yeah, so again, preparation. Claire again says, for me, I thought I could dive in immediately to help my mental health, but I wasn't prepared. So nutrition is vital for mental health. Making sure your body has the nutrients it needs and your brain has the nutrients it needs will help to keep you happy. And but yes, being prepared. So things like meal planning is something I do so that I only buy what we need and I know exactly what meals we're eating. We never struggle. The only times, like last night for example, we both forgot to get some meat out, so we ordered takeaway, but I had a chicken kebab. You know, sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do, but it's fine. I've got quite a sore throat as well, sorry. And I'm tired. I didn't fall asleep till gone 1 o'clock this morning, and then I got up at 6. Willpower, yeah. Willpower is a funny thing that I only half believe in. I feel like we could go so in depth on willpower alone. And let me just check for some more comments. Sorry, Kendra, can you just expand what needs to be autistic friendly? Just give me a little bit of context and then I can make sure I'm giving you the information you need. Yeah, Sarah, that's a really easy one to do. So Sarah says, I don't prepare during 12-hour shifts and then have to eat what is cooked at work, or I don't eat and then gorge after work, which is after 8 p.m, yeah. That kind of ties back to, I don't know if you saw my post this morning about, I worked today 8:30 till 2, which meant that I didn't get a lunch break because it was a relatively short shift, but it was also through lunchtime. And I wasn't really hungry at breakfast time this morning, but I knew that if I didn't eat and then tried to make myself go until 2 o'clock, I was going to end up eating things I didn't want to eat. So I had breakfast anyway. So yeah, meal prepping is something that's really important if you're busy. It takes a bit of dedication and it is a bit of a practice to get yourself into the habit of doing it. But if you can plan out, even if you just plan the meals you're going to take to work and prep them on a day off or whenever you've got some time, that will be really helpful, and that will just really help you stay on track. Claire says, I remember crying when I had crap food and messaged you so upset with myself. Honestly, I mean, my attitude towards food, even over the last couple of years since that programme, has changed. And I still see that every now and again you get annoyed with yourself when you've had something that's not very healthy. And honestly, like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as you're not living on junk, you're fine. I saw you posted and said you had some biscuits. Was it last night? I'm not sure when the post came up, but I saw it today. And I just thought, actually, just don't worry. You're allowed to eat some biscuits. You really are allowed to eat some biscuits. Like, if the majority of the food you eat is good, have some biscuits, have some cake, have whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Like, there is, like, just try and, I know it's easier said than done, but just try and let go of any guilt. You have done nothing wrong if you've eaten some biscuits. Like, I eat junk food. I mostly eat good food, but I eat junk food. And, you know, it doesn't matter. It's not an issue. It's part of life. But the change, just look back at where you were 2.5 years ago. Aha, Kendra, I know that one so well. Executive, yeah, so I have ASD, no I don't, I have ADHD. And only missed an ASD diagnosis by literally a couple of grey areas, so I don't really take that as not diagnosed. Kendra says, executive dysfunction, so no organisation skills, scientifically lacking in willpower. So yeah, this is a challenge. I personally thrive on routines, and so ADHD and ASD, I'm explaining for everybody else. Kendra, you may well know this, so I'm not trying to patronise you, but ADHD and ASD kind of have quite a lot of overlapping traits, and executive dysfunction is one of them. So it can be really difficult for us to get our shit together, basically. So I have learned to become not obsessed with routine, but everything is a routine. And breaking that routine can make me anxious. Not because I don't like change, I actually really love change, but I know that my routines are in place to help me make it through my day and do the things I need to be doing. So I would suggest just creating, and this goes back to our goal setting and action steps, is setting up one new routine at a time and make it something that you can do and it's not too big of a routine. I personally find that if it's in my routine, I can do it and I'm quite organised. But if it's out of my routine, it throws off everything else. So just adding in simple, easy to manage new routines will really help, I think, hopefully. We're all different, and I can't obviously predict how your ASD affects you, but I know how my ADHD affects me. And just as an example, and this is not food related, but I used to really struggle to keep up with all the washing in the house. And this was even back when I only had 2 kids. Like, we had overflowing washing baskets and it drove me insane. But now I just, every day, most days, it's part of my routine. When I get up in the morning, I put a load of washing on and I put the tumble dryer on. And it's just kind of part of my morning routine now. Even if it doesn't happen at the same time every day, I know that in the hours between when I get up and we go on the school run, I've put a load of washing on. And that has helped me stay on top of that. And it was something I really struggled with before. And it was just one simple thing that I had to kind of implement into my life. So even if for you and for Sarah, actually, if one day a week is spent meal prepping and just getting that into your routine, or even if it's like one meal a week, you know, however small you need to make it as small as it needs to be something you could integrate into your life. And then once you kind of got into the swing of that, you can add something else if you need to, and just baby steps. Ooh, Claire, cheese and grapes as a break, that sounds really nice. I want some cheese and grapes. Yeah, so Claire says probably our ASD and the ADHD overpowered it. That's what the guy who was assessing me was like. The areas that I'm unsure of are areas that could be overlap between ADHD and ASD. But the way I struggle with humans and social situations and just not understanding how people work makes me think that I probably should have had a diagnosis, but it was too difficult to differentiate between the two. Yeah, I was reading about that the other day actually, Claire. Yeah, one new routine at a time sounds good. Yeah, just make it really manageable for you. And don't try to, and you probably already know this, but don't try to set yourself up to create new routines or habits or be able to achieve things that neurotypical people can. I find that really difficult to do because I want to be able to do all the things everybody else can do, but I just have to realise that that's something I can't do. Yeah. Sarah says, oh my god, I cannot for the life of me keep up with the washing. The kids never have clothes in their wardrobe as I can't get them there before they wear them again. Yeah, and my kids will, when we send them to tidy their room, their wardrobe is mostly covered in clean clothes, but instead of sorting through them, they just bring them all back downstairs again. It makes me crazy. Yeah, I can eat a whole pint of grapes. So, for the time being, I'm caught up on the comments. I'm glad that we seem to be working well as a team. Everybody seems to be getting it. Right. So, setting goals without setting action steps. without obviously speaking to you all individually, one at a time, I may not be able to make specific recommendations for you, but I know that Emma, I think it was, who's in here, wants to lose, was it £19 by April? So I'm just using that because it stood out to me, because I know that we spoke probably last year about it actually. So that's really fitting for tonight. So £19 by April. So that is 4 months. Let's just round it up to 20 so that I can math. I'm just trying to divide it up. How many 4s go into 20? 4, 8, 16, 20. So that's about £5 a month, which is reasonable. That's doable. So yeah, that's a good goal actually. It's reasonable, it's not too huge. She's given herself a good time frame. So what she needs to do now is figure out what her action steps are going to be. So at this point, it's good to know where you're at right now, why you're not currently achieving it, why, because I think we spoke about it about a year ago. What Emma could do would be to look back over the last year and just kind of self-assess why she didn't achieve those goals, what got in the way, what habits did she not form, and just being aware of where she's at right now. So if, for example, right now she isn't being mindful of her food, and this is completely made up, we haven't spoken about her habits or anything, so I'm just making it up. If she isn't mindful of her food and doesn't do any exercise, then we've got 2 really clear things that she might be able to do right now. So maybe she can work on walking for half an hour a day, or 3 times a week. And this is something that's going to be really personal to everybody, because it will depend on your lifestyle and your ability and your health and everything like that. But let's say, for example, she could walk half an hour a day. That would probably give her like 100-ish calories off of her daily intake, depending on, speed and all of that kind of thing. And let's say that she eats a chocolate bar every day. She could give up the daily chocolate bar, or maybe she could give it up for 2 days a week, whatever she feels is achievable for her. That would then make up, let's say she gives up a daily chocolate bar and she walks for half an hour a day. That then gives her a 300 calorie deficit from where she is now, which would lose her 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, £0.5 a week. So that's moderate weight loss. So it may not get her the £5 she wants to achieve. It may give her £2, but that is still progress for the time being. And so maybe for the first month or for the first 2 weeks, she takes just those small steps. Half an hour walking, quits her chocolate bar a day. And once that kind of feels normal and easy and health and achievable for her, whether it's 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, then she can move on to the next step, which might be adding in a workout a week. Maybe she's going to go to a spin class, or she's going to do a HIIT workout at home. And you just build up all of these small steps along the way. And this is where we have to step out of the diet mindset of got to achieve it all right now, and we build this into a lifestyle. So even if the first month she only loses 2 to 3 pounds, it may not be the 5 she wanted, but she's created new habits that are easy for her to maintain and then build on. So she's not throwing herself in at the deep end and getting overwhelmed. She's not going to quit that because it's been easy to do. And maybe if she misses chocolate, she could find a healthy alternative. Or maybe she could treat herself once a week to like a really nice, good chocolate. There's this chocolate called On Bar, which is raw cacao. So it's really healthy. It's got all your antioxidants in it, and it's sweetened with, I think it's coconut sugar. And it's just the most amazing chocolate. And it's really expensive, but it's really nice. So maybe she swaps her daily regular chocolate bar for a weekly On Bar, which is expensive, but it's really nice and it's got health benefits. Some of them are probiotic too. So And then the next month, like I said, she could look at building in some more changes. So maybe she doesn't hit her goal by April. Maybe she's £5 under. But these changes she's making are building up on each other, and they're, what's it called? Sorry, excuse me. The compound effect, where you're making these small changes, and I've not read that book, but I know the gist of it. By the end of the year, she's made enough, making these small changes, so quitting your chocolate bar and walking for half an hour a day, and then adding in one workout a week, maybe then building up to 3, and you don't really need to do more than 3 a week. Then maybe she starts watching her food intake a little more cautiously, and I'm not saying perfect, because we've already discussed that that's not attainable, but maybe once she's used to quitting her chocolate bar, or she's reduced it down to once a week, maybe then she starts switching white pasta for brown, and that's one other change she can make, and then she adds something else. By the end of 2020, once she's got to December, she might have a completely wildly different lifestyle than she had in January. And even though in January maybe it felt like she wasn't taking enough action, by the time she got to December, she would look back and not even recognise herself. But she's done it slowly. And you've got to remember that this is a permanent lifestyle. So this isn't just about this isn't just about losing £20 by April. This is about, losing that £20, yes, but then keeping it off. And the only way she's going to do that is if she sets up a new lifestyle that she can continue forever. So this is why it has to be manageable. And a lot of people, I think, they look at the word diet and go, I can't do that forever. I can't go on a diet forever. Well, no, you're not going to go on a diet forever. You're going to make really slow, sustainable changes that don't feel like you've gone on a diet. I'm just going to have a drink. So that's kind of covered setting goals without action steps and making too many changes too fast. The next one was setting goals that aren't based on what you really want. So what I like to do when it comes to this is ask myself, if nobody else's opinion mattered, or if there was nobody else in the world, however you want to phrase it that kind of resonates with you, what would I want to achieve? Or if my appearance didn't matter, what would I want to achieve? Or whatever it is, whatever works for you. And just sit with that for a minute, because it might be difficult, because we have been bombarded with messages about how we should be for our whole lives. So that might take some time. Maybe you should journal it out. Maybe you take a week to figure it out. Maybe you, I don't know, whatever. Just get clear in your mind, if nobody else mattered, if nobody else existed, what would you want to achieve? And then that is what you do. And also, why? Why do you want to achieve it? Because, let me just think a minute. If for example, I'm going to use Emma again, just because it's a solid number and we've already sort of discussed it. If she wants to lose £20 to look good for, let's say, some guy, I know that's really superficial, but just for example, she wants to lose it to attract some guy. If she loses it and that doesn't attract him, well then what? Is she going to gain it back again? At what point is she going to do this for her? So maybe those £20 would actually mean that she feels more comfortable in her clothes. Maybe she's on the borderline between healthy weight and overweight, and that £20 is going to shift that. Or maybe she's, overweight to obese. I don't know. I'm just using examples. And, as much as BMI is mainly crap, it can be a gauge. So what internal reasons does she have for wanting to achieve those goals, not external? So when I talk about that, I mean, how is it going to benefit her regardless of anybody else? That's why you're going to do it. So maybe she wants to have more energy to play with her kids. Or maybe she's worried because diabetes runs in the family and she needs to make sure she maintains a healthy weight to try and prevent that for herself. Those would be internal ones. So the external ones would be like, so and so would think I was hot, or I could prove to everybody that I can do it, or whatever. So you need to base your goals on internal reasons. I hope that makes sense. Let me check the comments. Yeah, 70% chocolate is good, and hotel chocolat. Yeah, so Claire's just made a really good point. Compared to 2.5 years ago, she's completely different. She looks different, she feels different, her habits are different, everything's different. And even though she still beats herself up a little bit when she, I don't even want to say goes off track, because it's not going off track, it's just living your life. Everything is so different now. And she says, she hears people say, oh my God, I can never do that permanently, you're mad. But what they don't understand is that it's a process of changing your habits. And actually, once you've changed them for the better, it doesn't feel good to eat badly. And that's what makes it easier as well. Once you start feeling really good, you'll really notice when you're not eating great, and you won't want to do that anymore. Okay, tangent. Back again. So, the next one, setting goals that don't align with the level of action you're prepared to take. This really goes hand in hand with setting goals that are based on what you really want. So, again, using like the bikini competition thing, just because it's so extreme, you might really like the idea of like having that really super lean toned body, but how happy are you actually going to be with the process of getting there? Are you going to enjoy it? Are you going to be able to commit to that? So you really need to get honest with the level of action you're prepared to take. So maybe you could look at it and go, right, okay, if I wanted to be a bikini model competitor, I'd need to lose, like if I wanted to do it, I'd probably need, it's difficult to work in weight, but I would need to drop a lot of fat. Like I'm not big, but I am not lean. So I would need to, I would say I'd need to be on it with my workouts, which I am anyway because I really enjoy them, but I would need to be super on it with my nutrition. It would require tweaking and tracking and more tweaking and more tracking, and obsession basically is what it takes. And a lot of people who have done like bikini competitions and things come out of it and are like, whew, I don't recommend that, it really fucked me up. And they've obviously done what it takes to get there, but they haven't come out of it feeling good and healthy. So just check in with what you'd need to achieve your goals and sustain them, and decide whether that's what you actually want to do. Are you going to be happy with that? And then relying on willpower alone really kind of ties back into goal settings and action and making too many changes at once. If you were to be like, I'm going to quit chocolate and crisps and takeaways and coffee and going to go to the gym 6 times a week and all of that kind of crazy stuff that I mentioned in the beginning, that would require willpower, because that's a hell of a lot of change. Your brain doesn't like it. Your brain likes habit. You're trying to break too many habits at once. That's when you require willpower. And also, actually, it links back to setting goals that don't align with the level of action. Do you know what? That applies to everything, actually, willpower. If you haven't got all of the first, I'm pointing at my screen and you can't see me doing it. If you haven't got all of those first 4 points in place, so if you've not set achievable goals with simple action steps, and you haven't decided whether you really truly want to achieve what you want to achieve, and you haven't decided how much effort you're willing to apply, all of that is going to take willpower, because you haven't planned and you haven't decided what's right for you. And so you're going to need willpower, and it's going to be difficult because willpower comes and goes. There are going to be days when you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't really care. And you're going to have to kind of force through that, especially if you're making too many changes. So I think that I have covered everything I want to cover. I hope I haven't gone too quickly, because I know I have a tendency to talk very fast and waffle. So I'm just going to pause for a minute to let the comments catch up. I did actually open Facebook on my computer so that I could try and read the comments in real time. So let me just have a look and see if I can do that. The computer's really slow. Probably not. So I am going to put all this into a PDF for you because I know, like I said, I tend to waffle, tend to talk very quickly, and you are going to want to kind of get this out of your head and onto some paper. My computer's not loading very fast. Just waiting for some comments. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad. Thank you, Kendra. I really appreciate the feedback because I don't know unless you tell me. Right, let me just look at my printer. No, my computer's not as up to date as my phone is. Okay, let's get rid of that. This laptop's like, I don't even know how many years old. I'm really glad it was helpful, like really, really glad. Because sometimes I get a bit self-conscious that I've gone too fast and not given enough information, or given too much too fast. So, the offer, I have an offer for you, which I'm really excited about actually. And it's a different one to what I thought I was going to offer you. Because I like to go with the flow and change my mind every 30 seconds. So, what I have for you is a group program. Oh, I'm really glad, Claire. Remember, I was going to say you can always go back over Nourish Your Life, but like I said, my attitude has changed over the past couple of years, so I may need to update. So, yes, what I have to offer you is a group program that I'm going to give you an 80% discount on, which is pretty crazy. So basically this group program is called Resolution 365 because it's going to help you make sure that the New Year's resolutions you set are what you stick with all year long. So we'll be going deeper into what we've covered today. This has been a fairly brief overview of kind of the really important steps you need to take to move forward with your goals. So this should help you, whether you decide to move forward today or not. This will help you, especially with the PDF that I will go away and make so that you can just kind of get it all down and solidify it all. But this program is going to go deeper into everything we've talked about today. So we've talked about kind of setting goals here. In this program, I'm going to really walk you through and hold your hand through setting goals for each person who signs up. We're going to be looking at SMART goals. You may have heard of them before. And that really helps you set goals that, like we discussed, are sustainable and achievable. And I will be helping each person individually with setting up their own specific goals and helping them break them down and helping them make sure that it's manageable for them and is it the right thing for them, so that you've got a really solid plan of this is what you want to achieve, this is when you want to achieve it by, this is how you're going to do it, and you will also be able to tweak. So if you go into it and you're like, actually this is going too slow for me or too fast for me, I'll be able to help you reassess. So we will also go over, let me just read you the blurb. How to set goals actually stick. So like I said, I'm going to walk you through step by step setting your own goals and giving you personalised feedback on those goals so that you know that what you've set is going to work for you. We will cover what foods to eat and how much to eat, so that weight loss can be easy for you. So I won't be dictating how much each person individually can eat, but what I am going to do is show you the best foods to focus on to help manage your appetite naturally so that you don't have to become obsessive, you don't have to go hungry, you can keep your energy levels stable, and I can't remember what I said. basically it's going to make weight loss easier because you'll be eating the right foods and you won't have to go hungry, and you'll keep your energy levels up, and it's just going to fall off you. And Claire can attest to the weight falling off you, because she didn't even intend to lose weight when she joined Nourish Your Life, and then she lost 2 stone. So, and she would message me, I think it was Claire, somebody who took the program was messaging me and was like, I think I'm eating too much. Am I eating too much? This is what I've eaten today. I was like, no, you're fine. Carry on. And they still lost weight. Whether it was Claire or somebody else, I can't remember. But that's one of my favourite things about the kind of my nutrition protocol, is that you get to eat so much more than you think you can. You know, all these years, I don't know about your history, but I have so many years of history of dieting where I thought I had to be starving hungry in order to lose weight, that when I shifted to what I advise now, I just couldn't believe that I could eat 2 satiety and still have the weight come off. Because before, I was never satisfied. I was always eating. It was like a running, not even joke, just like probably concern amongst adults when I was little. Oh my God, she's eating again. I could not stop. So this was just incredible. I love food. And so the other thing you will discover is that I'm a foodie. If you're a foodie, you can continue to be a foodie and still lose weight and achieve your goals and feel healthy as well. Because as you all probably know, a major focus for me is real nutrition. So this isn't just about eating to lose weight. This is about eating to lose weight and getting the nutrition you need in your body. So double whammy. So we'll talk about whether you should calorie count when it's appropriate and how to set your calorie amount. There's actually another video in here on that. So if that's something that you've been unsure on, check out the units, and it's in there. I think it's unit 3. It's one of them. How and when to calorie count. So we will cover that, and there's a PDF to go with that in the program as well. It'll be covered in more depth, and I'll be able to help you personally with that as well. I'll be helping you make sure that it's actually fat that you lose and not muscle mass. So something you may not know about weight loss is that when you reduce your calories, some muscle loss is inevitable. That's just the way it works. But there are steps you can take to try to make sure that the majority of your muscle mass is maintained and that you're losing fat, not muscle. And this is going to help you achieve that kind of more toned look. So if you've ever... I posted a picture ages ago that was weight loss from just reducing my calories. I think it was after I was in hospital over the summer, and I was kind of skinny straight up and down. And I was the lightest I've been in years, but I had no shape to me at all. And then I posted a picture next to it, which was good nutrition and exercise. And I was heavier, but I had more shape and I looked better. And so this is about body recomposition, is what it's called, is when you're losing fat and maintaining muscle. You may not be getting lighter or much lighter, but you are reducing fat and building muscle and changing your overall appearance for the better and improving your health, because body recomposition is really important for health as well. So most other nutrition plans, like Slimming World, for example, they focus on purely weight loss, not body recomposition, and that means that you're losing muscle as well as fat. You will lose some fat, but you'll lose muscle as well, and that's not beneficial to your body or your health or your appearance. It's just ugh. But it may be that, you know, people on Slimming World might be like, I lost 8 pounds in my first week, which is awesome, but is it 8 pounds of fat or is it water, fat and muscle? There is a balance to be had, as with anything in life. And we will also be covering adopting the kind of mindset that you need to have to enable you to stick with this all year through. So we've touched on quite a lot of it today about setting smaller goals and things, but there is also a mindset element to be had, which will help you relax your attitude towards food and kind of let go of any anxiety you might have about food or your body image, and just letting go of that kind of stressful energy around eating and just relaxing and enjoying your life, because I really, really just want you to enjoy your life as well. Like, yeah, losing weight's great and looking good's great and being healthy is really important, but you also have to be happy and healthy mentally and not have this overrun your entire life. And then bonuses. So we have overcoming emotional eating. That is a PDF kind of journaling prompt thing that I had in here for a while, and some people said it was really great. A person, I can't remember exactly who it was, said that she used to struggle with disordered eating, and it was really helpful for her to just kind of work through some of the emotional stuff she still had going on. But that is not to say that it is to be used for eating disorders. I just want to clarify that, because that's not something that is within the scope of my practice. So emotional eating, yes. Eating disorders, no. But if you're concerned about that, talk to me and we'll decide what's right for you and whether you maybe need to be referred to somebody. Food lists. I have spent so much time, but I love it, putting together food lists. So they're not quite finished yet, but they will be up in the program when it gets up and running. I have split food groups into vegetables. I think it's, what have I done? Low carb vegetables. I've done carbohydrates, including vegetables and grains. I've done proteins, which I'm splitting into meat-based proteins, or animal-based proteins and plant-based proteins, and then fats. And each of those lists also contains their calorie count per serving, and I've told you your servings as well, and your macro count. So for example, the carbohydrates, how many carbs are in half a cup of rice, and I've included the ones that you should focus on for good health. So I haven't put, for example, white rice in there, I've put brown, because I want this to be a reference for you that you could print out and stick on your fridge or whatever, so that you can see which foods should I focus on to achieve my goals and to achieve good health. What are the calories, what are the macros, so that if you are counting, you can easily see. You can literally just like scoop out your food and know how much you've got of each thing. So it's really handy. Claire says, I couldn't quite get into journaling. I don't know if I was doing it right. To be honest, there's not really a right or wrong way to do it. Just the purpose of journaling is to get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Helps create clarity in your head so that you haven't got everything buzzing around. But also, personally, I tend to find that as I write, I start, like, any negative emotion that I was feeling about it and negative thoughts tends to all simmer down, and I end up coming to my own conclusion and solution. So it's there's no right or wrong. Just whatever's on your mind, get it out and see what comes up. Oh, that's awesome. She's still got the printouts. Yeah, they're really good resources, even if I say so myself. Oh yes, you also get foodie-worthy recipes, because I only eat nice food. A lot of people are like, oh, I love your food posts. And I post them because I want people to see that you really do get to enjoy food. So you'll get foodie-friendly recipes, and each person who joins will also get a private one-to-one call with me. And this is so that we can go over everything. You can ask your questions, we can get really clear on your goals, we can make an even more in-depth action plan if you need more help than I was able to give you within the group. Whatever you need, that call will be focused on so that you can go into the rest of the year with confidence. Sorry, I'm just reading some comments. So, this program is normally my one-on-one program. So there's a hell of a lot of content, and it's normally £450, but for 5 of you, so there are only 5 spaces because of the one-on-one calls, it's £90. So that's a 6-week program. It's normally a month when it's one-on-one, but I just want that extra time to get all the content covered. So 6 weeks, you get everything I've listed plus the one-on-one call for £90, which is like the cost of a call. So you're getting like my brain, 5 weeks of free coaching, which is really awesome. And I'm really excited. What I've basically done is gone, right, 5 of you can split the cost of the program. So you're getting the same level of content as you would if we were working together one-on-one, but you're splitting the cost between you. Because I really want my coaching to be accessible to everybody. But as you can probably tell from the list, this is a lot of work. So it needs to be covered, but I want you to access it. So that is available to just 5 of you. There have been 4 or 5 of you on this live. So if all of you were to sign up for that, that's it, covered, and that's it, no more. And it will only be available until the 1st of January at midnight. So you've got a couple of days to decide whether it's the right thing for you. If you want to message me and ask any questions, please do. I'm an open book and I'm not a salesperson, so I'm not going to push it on you if it's not right for you. And if you don't want to do it, or if you can't afford it, or whatever, no problem. I'm sure you said have ADHD. I do. Well, it starts, let's say, because I plan so well, it starts, if everybody joins by the 1st, we'll have a week of intake of getting to know each other, and then we shall start on, let's go with Friday the 3rd. Okay. Those of you who have questions about payments, message me. Message me. Anybody can message. So, in order to access that, if you want to go straight to the website now, you can. And it's holisticallyrosie.co.uk. I had to double check my website address then. Click on exclusive offers. And it's going to come up with a lock page, and it's going to ask you to put in a password. The password is 2020 goals, all in capitals. So if you have questions, please do message me, including about payments. Like I said, I'm not going to pressure anybody or be a sleazy salesperson, because it's blah. So I hope that this was beneficial for you regardless. And I will put together that PDF of everything we've covered here so that you can go and work on it all anyway. And thank you for watching. Oh, let me just check the comments as well, because I've seen there's more come up. Okay, I think I've covered all of the questions so far. So I'm not being shady about payment questions. I just want people to message me, because obviously everybody has slightly different needs, and it would be easier for me to be able to talk to you personally to decide if we can set something up for you. That's the only reason. So yes, pop me a message. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you being here and taking the time to watch. I'm going to put the website in the comments, but not the passcode, just because I really want this to be exclusive for the people who have taken the time to watch the video and kind of invest their time into their goals and take this really seriously. So the website link I'll put in the comments, but the passcode, just as a reminder to those watching, is 2020 goals, all in capitals. If it doesn't work in capitals, try it in not capitals. I'm pretty sure it's all capitals though. And if you have any trouble with it, just let me know. But do pop me a message if you're unsure of anything. Thank you so much. Let me just see if I can pop that in now. Can I? Yes, I can comment now. Okay, so hang on. Oh no, not holistically. Excuse me 1 second. Just spell it. I'm not putting stupid faces at you. .co.uk/ exclusive. Oh god, I can't type. It's late and I've not slept enough. Exclusive offers. There you go. Okay, so that's in the comments for you to come back to. And again, the passcode is 2020 goals. And that will get you, basically what I've set up for you, for only the people who have watched a masterclass, is a page of exclusive offers, which only you can access. So you've got the group program, which I've just told you about. There is also an offer on my 3-month one-on-one package. So if you like the look of that, do feel free to either sign up immediately or message me about that too. But this one is the offer for the group package, is the one I was really excited to tell you about. So thanks again.